Yashodanandana Raja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tiravanachari Jai Kunja Bihari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopishana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Radha Madhava Jai Kunja Bihari Gopishana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yugadharma Shri Harinam Sankirtana ki Jai Srila Prabhupada ki Jai Samaveta Gaura Bhakta Binda ki Jai Jai Gaur Premanande Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudirayet Nashtaprayesha Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavate Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter number 26, The Hellish Planets, text number 22. I'll read this verse which is in prose. Etva ihavai rajanya rajapurushava apakanda dharma shaitun bhindanti te samparetya vaitaranyam naipatanti binna maryadas tasyam nirayaparika bhutayam nadhyam yado ganer itastato bhakshamana atmanana vijamanas chashubir uhyamanas svagena karmapakam anusmaranto vinmutrapuya sonitakesha nakasti medo mamsavasa vahinyam upatapyante. Translation: a person who is born into a responsible family, such as a Kshatriya, a member of the royalty, or a government servant, but who neglects to execute his prescribed duties according to religious principles, and who thus becomes degraded, falls down at the time of death into the river of hell, known as Vaitarani. This river, which is a moat surrounding hell, is full of ferocious aquatic animals. When a sinful man is thrown into the river Vaitarani, the aquatic animals there immediately begin to eat him. But because of his extremely sinful life, he does not leave his body. He constantly remembers his sinful activities and suffers terribly in that river, which is full of stool, urine, pus, blood, hair, nails, bones, marrow, flesh, and fat. Text number 23. Ye tva ihavai vrishali patayo nasta sauchachara niyamas tyakta lajja pashu charyam charanti te chapi pretya puya vinmutra shleshma mala purnarnave nipatanti tad evativi bhatsitam ashnanti. Translation. The shameless husbands of low-born Shudra women live exactly like animals, and therefore they have no good behavior, cleanliness, or regulated life. After death, such persons are thrown into the hell called Puyoda, where they are put into an ocean filled with pus, stool, urine, mucus, saliva, and similar things. Shudras who could not improve themselves fell into that ocean and are forced to eat those disgusting things. Purport. Translation purport by His Divine Grace Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Narottam Das Thakur has sung Karma Kanda Gnana Kanda Kevala Vishayare Bhanda Amrita Baliya Eva Khaya Nana Yoni Sada Fire Kadariya Bhakshana Kare Tara Janma Adappateya. He says that persons following the paths of Karma Kanda and Gnana Kanda, fruitive activities and speculative thinking, are missing the opportunities for human birth and gliding down into the cycle of birth and death. Thus, there is always a chance that he may be put into the Puyoda Naraka, the hell named Puyoda, where one is forced to eat stool, urine, pus, mucus, saliva, and other abominable things. It is significant that this verse is spoken especially about Shudras. If one is born a Shudra, he must continually return to the ocean of Puyoda to eat horrible things. Thus, even a born Shudra is expected to become a Brahmana. That is the meaning of human life. Everyone should improve himself. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 4.13, Chaturvanyam Maya system Gunakarma Vivagasa. According to the three modes of material nature and the work ascribed to him, 4 divisions of human society are created by me. Even if one is by qualification a Shudra, he must try to improve his position and become a Brahmana. No one should try to check a person, no matter what his present position is, from coming to the platform of a Brahmana or a Vaishnava. Actually, one must come to the platform of Vaishnava, then he automatically becomes a Brahmana. This can be done only if the Krishna consciousness movement is spread. For we are trying to elevate everyone to the platform of Vaishnava. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita 18.66, Sarva dharman parityaja mamekam sharanam vraja. Abandon all other duties and simply surrender unto me. One must give up the occupational duties of a Shudra, Kshatriya or Vaishya and drop the occupational duties of a Vaishnava, which include the activities of a Brahmana. Krishna explains this in Bhagavad Gita 9.32. Mamhi partha vyapashritya epishu papayonaya striyo vaishyastata shudras tepiyanti param gatim. O son of Pritha, those who take shelter in me, though they may be of lower birth, women, Vaishyas, merchants as well as Shudras, workers, can approach the supreme destination. Human life is especially meant for going back home, back to Godhead. That facility should be given to everyone, whether one be a Shudra, a Vaishya, a woman, or a Kshatriya. This is the purpose of Krishna conscious movement. However, if one is satisfied to remain a Shudra, he must suffer, as described in this verse. Tad evati bhibatsitam ashnanti. Ovagdantimirandasya Grananjana Salake Chakshurun Militam Mena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Mena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadanti Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Hitapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamsham Shri Rupam Sagrajata Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamsha Namaum Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamini Tiramine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashyata Deshatarine Namo Mahavadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaurasve Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate Taprakanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhano Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vacha Kalpa Tarubhyasya Kripa Sindhubhyev Cha Nitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangulangayate girim yat kripaha tamaham vande Shri Guru Dinatarinam. Hare Krishna. So I seek the blessings of all the assembled devotees here so that I can speak on this verse of Srimad Bhagavatam, the glorification of Lord and purification of my own heart. So in this section of Bhagavatam, especially this fifth canto talks about the topic Sthanam, which is about the position of the various planetary systems and also the position of various living entities as per their karma. So here below Patala, the various hellish planets are being described and the various living entities as per their vikarma, how they are going to these various hells according to their various sinful activities, who is going where, that particular planet is being described. So here the hellish planet Puyoda is being explained. People who don't follow the prescribed rules and regulations as per their varna and ashram, if they are not following. So Prabhupada is mentioning even a Shudra, if he is born as a Shudra, Chaturvarnyam Maya system, Guna Karma Vibhagasa. Okay, as per his Guna and Karma, he may be born as Shudra, but if he doesn't elevate himself to Brahmana, again he has to go to this hell and again be born as a Shudra. Because the scriptures mention Janmana Jayate Shudra. By birth everybody is Shudra. Samskaret Bhavid Dvija. So by initiation, by following the instructions of Guru and eventually taking initiation, he becomes a Dvija, twice initiated. And then Veda Patet Vipra. So, and Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. So, here in this verse it's mentioned that even if you are born as Shudra, you should actually elevate yourself to a Brahmana position. So, we see that scriptures mention many verses about the power of devotional service. So, we will see some of these verses where it talks about how even if somebody is born in a very low family, he can be elevated by the process of devotional service. So in the Srimad Bhagavatam, Narada Muni is talking that how we should decide a person's varna, even if he is born in a low-grade family. So in 7.11.35, it's telling, Yasya yal lakshanam proktam pumso varnabhi yasakshajam yadanta anyatrapi drishyeta tatteneva vinirdishet. Saying if the symptoms described for a particular varna are found in a person belonging to another varna, he should be designated according to those symptoms. Means even if somebody is born as a Shudra, but is exhibiting the qualities of Brahmana, then he is a Brahmana. Not that because he is born as Shudra, he should remain as Shudra only. How can he become a Brahmana? It's not like that. So we see that when Prabhupada actually initiated many of Western disciples in as Brahmanas, or even as sannyasis. So some of the caste brahmanas, they had objection that how Prabhupada can give like that. So we see the famous incident when Yashodanandan Swami, Achyutanand Swami, in their preaching tour in South India, they went to Sringeri Mutt and they met the sannyasi there. So that sannyasi also challenged that how can your guru make you sannyasis? You were all lichas in the past, but how can you take up this sannyas? So they just said one statement that which is more powerful, holy name or sinful reactions? Bas. That's all. So he was quiet because the power of holy name is such that even the most degraded can become pure devotees of the Lord or can become brahmanas or sannyasis. So in Bhagavatam, again 2.4.18, this famous verse is there. Kirata hunandra pulinda pulkasha avira shumbaya vanakashadaya enecha papa yada pashayashaya shuddhyanti tasmai Prabhu Vishnave namaha. So even persons born of the lowest races, Kirata, Hunandra, Pulinda, Pulkasha, all this. So Shuddhyanti Tasmai, they can become purified by coming in contact with devotional service of Lord Vishnu. So that is the power of devotional service. As Prabhupada also is quoting, Apichet Sudurachara Bhajatenma. No, not this. Mahami Parda Vepasitra Epishu Papayone. So Striya Vaisha Tatashu Tepi Anti Paramgatim. So even if somebody is born as very sinful background, but he can be purified by the process of devotional service. So we see that Prabhupada actually showed the world how the most degraded can be purified. So here only in the Reddy hostel grounds, when there was a Pandal program, I think in 75. So 1975. So there was a Pandal program. Jai Shri Shri Gaurnitai, Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan, Shri Shri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra Mai Ki Jai. So in that Pandal program, after the class, one person stood up and said, Swamiji, can you show some magic? Can you produce some ash? Show some magic so that we can understand your greatness. So then Prabhupada told some of his Western disciples to get up. And he said, this is my magic. That these people were most degraded, were into all kinds of bad habits, but these got transformed into Vaishnavas. See, this is a change. Actually, something similar happened in Vrindavan also. P.C. Sarkar, who is famous magician, he came to meet Prabhupada, and Prabhupada was under some tree. So then P.C. Sarkar showed some magic. So he did like this, some leaves from the tree fell. He did like this, and leaves went up. So he was showing some magic tricks. So everybody was like mesmerized that, see how this is doing such magic. Then he said, Swamiji, can you show some of your magic? So that time again Prabhupada called his Western disciples and said, this is my magic. They were most sinful, but I changed them into pure Vaishnavas. He said, can you do this? He actually challenged that P.C. Sarkar. He said, I cannot do that magic. It is not possible for me. So actually Prabhupada did magic because that is spiritual magic. Because he transformed the most sinful lechas, evaras who were degraded into pure Vaishnavas. Correct? So we also hear this famous pastime where one devotee goes to the Radha Raman temple. Correct? Where he meets one pujari. No? And So he was very fond of the deities, yeah, and he was thinking about worshipping the deities, that Western devotee, Western disciple of Prabhupada. So observing that Pujari of Radharaman temple, he said that actually you keep coming, no, you keep coming to our temple like this. Actually, you keep serving like this, Prabhupada, and next life you may become a Brahmana by serving like this life. Now in this life, because you are a mlecha, you are born in Western countries, eating meat like this, you are born very sinful. You cannot become Pujari now. Next life, no, maybe you may get a chance. So he went to Prabhupada and told that, no, this is what this person is telling. So Prabhupada says, actually that is wrong. No, actually last life you were already Pujari serving and because you served like this, now in this life you are born as, you took up Krishna consciousness and you are preaching the glories of Lord. So actually you are much more fortunate than that Brahmana. And that is fact actually. So Prahlad Maharaj mentions this verse in the 7th canto, 9th chapter, 10th verse. Visadguna yuta aravinda nabha pada aravinda vimukat swapacham varishtam manyeta darpita mano vachane hitardha pranam punati sakulam natu burimana. So he is saying, if a Brahmana has all 12 of the Brahminical qualifications, as stated in the book Sanat Sujata, but is not a devotee and is averse to the lotus feet of the Lord, he is certainly lower than a devotee who is a dog eater, but who has dedicated everything, mind, words, activities, wealth, and life, to the Supreme Lord. Such a devotee is better than such a Brahmana, because the devotee can purify his whole family, whereas the so-called Brahmana, in a position of false prestige, cannot purify even himself. Very powerful verse. That even because he is born in a very sinful family, but because he has become a devotee of the Lord, he can purify his entire family. In fact, we see that when Lord Narasimhadev blesses Prahlad, he says 21 generations before later everybody will get opportunity to be liberated. So in one lecture I heard that for a pure devotee of Lord, not only 21 generations of this life, even the previous lives also, they also get the opportunity to render devotional service. The Lord is so much feels obligated towards that devotee. So there is this verse in Hari Bhakti Vilas which tells, Yata kaschanatam yati kamshayam rasa vidanata tata diksha vidanena jidatvam jayate nanam. Just as a bell metal is transformed into gold by proper alchemical process involving mercury, similarly by the process of diksha, a human being attains vijatva, the status of twice born. So there are so many verses actually indicating that how even the most degraded can be transformed. So Prabhupada had faith in the scriptures, in the words of spiritual master. So that's why he could go to the West and preach. So we see that when Prabhupada was about to leave, so many of them actually discouraged him. They said, Swamiji, you will not even get vegetarian food. You may have to eat meat. No, they are completely degraded. Even in India, people are not interested. So how can people there take to Krishna consciousness? But because his spiritual master Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur actually instructed him, he took that instruction as his life and soul. So we see that even at such great risk, he went and preached. And actually we see that Krishna empowered him, right? That so many thousands of people all over the world got transformed. And when actually these devotees came to India, seeing that these Indians, they got transformed, they were actually surprised that how can even these Westerners chant holy names, become Vaishnavas, Brahmanas. So Prabhupada showed by his own example. So from these verses we can actually see that how is the power of devotional service, that even the most degraded can be transformed. What appears to be impossible actually becomes possible by the power of devotional service, when one sincerely takes to the instructions of spiritual masters and he surrenders to those instructions. So in the life of Prabhupada himself we see that what actually appears impossible, that going to West and preaching became possible. Correct? So similarly we see here in our temple at Iskcon Hyderabad. So we hear, like once His Grace Anandmai Prabhu was mentioning that here there was a well. Actually, when I was telling this in one of the Prabhupada's appearance day, I was speaking about that. I was telling that there. So His Grace Anandmai Prabhu said, where you stood, there only is that well. I was like, somewhere near our Govinda. No. So there was a well, and there were Muslim Hindu rites, and all the dead bodies were thrown into that well long back. So that was the situation of this place. But by the power of Srila Prabhupada, such a, in one sense, materially speaking, it's considered very sinful. Even the cremation is not done, right? Generally, Hindus, they burn the body, all these things happen, right? So even those things are not done, they're just thrown in the well. So in one sense, it's completely sinful, degraded place. Correct? So when His Holiness Radhanand Maharaj had come in 2012, also he was telling this, that see the power of Prabhupada, that he transformed such a degraded place into Vrindavan. Because we see that when Prabhupada actually installed the deities here, he said that we have Sri Sri Radha Madan Mohan, then we have Sri Sri Jayannath Balde Subhadra, then we have Sri Sri Gaur Nitai. He said that means we have Vrindavan, we have Mayapur, and we have Jagannath Puri. He said we have all the three dhams. So, in one sense, it's the most purifying place in the entire Hyderabad, because we have all the three dhams at one place, right? So that is the power of a pure devotee's desire to serve a spiritual master. That even such a degraded place, which nobody would like to even build a house, he made such a wonderful place, right? This wonderful temple. So we see that in our temple, right from beginning, tasks which were quite impossible became possible. So we see this pastime when Prabhupada came in 1972, this famous pastime, that there was this what we call drought, and this brahmanas were performing yajna for that. Prabhupada said, this will not work. I will show how rains can come. Annad bhavanti bhutani parjanyad anna sambhava. Yajnad bhavati parjanyo yajna karma samudbhava. If you want grains, you need rains, right? In the grains word only there is rains. And then if you want rains, then you need to perform yajna, right? So you have to satisfy Lord Vishnu. So, and the process of satisfying Vishnu is performing Sankirtan yajna. So when devotees went all over Hyderabad, Charminar, all those places, and performed Harinam, so recently, who was telling me, or Sai Jayanpur was telling, that not only in 72, I thought only 72, in 74, 76, all these 3 years there was drought. And when devotees did Harinam, then rains came. Means although the 72 incident is famous, because it came so much in newspaper, but even in 74, 76 also, there was quite good amount of drought, and after devotees did Kirtan, then the rains came. So thus proved Not once, 3 times. So in that sense, it's very glorious that Prabhupada, actually the philosophy, when people see that actually it is being applied and they see the result in front of their eyes, then immediately their faith no, improves or increases. So that's what happened in Hyderabad. So we know that when Prabhupada came to Hyderabad, there was 14-day Pandal program in exhibition grounds. So we are doing 4 days. But in the first visit only they did 14. And hardly there were any devotees. Now we are struggling to manage these 4 days. 14 days, and it's not that some 50, 100 people. No, thousands of people were coming. If you see that photos also, so many people, thousands of people were coming. And few Western disciples who don't know Telugu, who don't know anything, they were managing the entire thing. And there was no temple only. We have temple, we have so many things, correct? We have contacts, we have so many donors. They just came and start. Means we can understand that how much faith and surrendered were these Prabhupada disciples. Because otherwise, generally, if suppose we are given the task, arrange Pandal program for 10,000, okay, where? In exhibition grounds. Funds? Where should I stay? No, we'll have 10 questions. We'll ask 10 questions, correct? No? What about this? What about that? Where will I get prasad? Where will I this, that? We'll say that after everything is arranged, maybe I'll think. Correct? But they didn't have any even accommodation. Somewhere in Begum Bazar they were staying. That Hari Prasad Badruga, he arranged in Begum Bazar, and they were so they were so much surrendered. Just try to understand how much dedicated these disciples. So in almost every visit, I think in next one more time also in exhibition grounds it was there, and then again in 75 in Reddy Hostel. Almost 3 times there was this Pandal program by Prabhupada. So it means lot of arrangements, definitely. So we see that in 72 only this Hari Prasad Badruka, he met Prabhupada and he introduced Pullareddy to Prabhupada. We know that incident where Pullareddy was inspired in London seeing the Harinam. So Harinam Sankirtan has a very powerful connection with our temple, with every temple, but in one sense Harinam Sankirtan only brought thus rains. Harinam Sankirtan brought us this land also, where we are all sitting, right? Because he was inspired in London. So when he again saw all these Prabhupada disciples and Prabhupada, he was really inspired, and Hari Prasad Badruka made him meet Prabhupada, and immediately he was ready to give this land, right? So when this land came, Prabhupada wanted to build a temple. So in 73, few weeks before the cornerstone ceremony, Prabhupada told Mahamsa Swami. So actually yesterday our Keshan Maipro was mentioning, this Mahamsa Swami was doing a lot of programs in Gujarat, organizing big Pandal programs, and very successful. So he was such a surrendered soul. They were from Bombay, and once Gaurang Pro was telling that this Selwell or some advertisements, even now, huge advertisements, he's from that family, Sindhi family, and he was in Canada studying. So when he met Prabhupada and disciples there, he surrendered. So the first service he was given to clean the toilet with tissue paper. I was shocked, my Lord. With brush, there was no brush generally. So with tissue paper, he was cleaning the toilets. Such a surrendered soul. So Prabhupada told him that you come from Gujarat and you start serving here in Hyderabad. So, but he was already very successful there. So he said, but Prabhupada, what about programs here in Gujarat? So much nice program is happening. He said, no, stop that, come here. So initially he was like, no, little shocked. But then he understood that I had to follow Prabhupada's spiritual master instructions. So he came here. So Prabhupada, he told him, let's have cornerstone ceremony for this temple. So then he said, but Prabhupada, we need at least 1 lakh rupees those days to arrange this function, to organize this event. So Prabhupada said, how much you have? So Prabhupada, he said, we have few thousand rupees in the bank, that's all. Prabhupada said, no, go ahead, no problem. No, I will come for the cornerstone ceremony. Krishna will arrange everything, don't worry. Prabhupada is so much ambitious. No, sometimes, right, we are shocked or mesmerized how Prabhupada is like this. He said, no problem, go ahead. No, Krishna will arrange everything. And actually, Krishna arranged everything for that event. Actually, I heard one pastime in, I think, Montreal somewhere. So devotees were looking for a land, for a temple. Current temple was not so good. So they went to one big this church, and it was very huge and very amazing, but the cost was so high. So devotee said, Prabhupada, I think it is difficult, impossible. Prabhupada also felt, yeah, it's too costly for us. Because in 60s, 70s, hardly there were devotees and funds. So then after going to temple, Prabhupada was meditating on that. Yeah. So he bangs on his table and he says, what is it? Yeah, he said, we must take anxiety for Krishna. He bangs on the table, he says, we must take anxiety for Krishna. Otherwise, we'll just eat, sleep and fall down. So much, in one sense, in material sense, it may appear literally impossible. How can a few disciples without any money collect thousands of dollars? Prabhupada had that faith that impossible will become possible by Krishna and Guru's mercy. So similarly inspired Mahamsa Prabhu that time that you start this cornerstone ceremony with few thousand, no problem. And actually they did that in 73, I think March, where first this cornerstone ceremony was done, and temporarily there was a temple in that north gate, that side, and on that it was written Hare Krishna land. We got that photos also recently, first time. Hare Krishna Land International Society, that is written on that. And Prabhupada came, and actually Hari Prasad Badruka, he brought the deities, Sri Radha Madan Mohan from Jaipur, with the help of some Agarwal who also sponsored. And those deities were in his house. But Hari Prasad Badruka suggested that we should start worshipping them. Why just keep in the house? So Prabhupada also agreed. So even without installation, perhaps, I think nowhere else such thing happened. So Prabhupada said, bring the deities here. And they kept them in the temporary temple hall there. And they started worship. And then when the curtain opened, Prabhupada immediately offered obeisances. And when he got up, he said, Jai Shri Shri Radha Madan Mohan Ki Jai. And he immediately gave name to the deities also, just by having the first darshan of the deities, right? So that was in 73. And that time Prabhupada gave sannyas to Mahamsa also. So everybody was shocked. He was also shocked because he was only 20-year-old. So that Hari Prasad Badruka was saying, how can you give sannyas to this 20-year-old boy? He's so young. How can you give sannyas to him? So but Prabhupada said, no, for the sake of preaching, we have to give. And he was given sannyas in that same duration. So he became Mahamsa Swami Maharaj in 73. So similarly, when this temple was about to be inaugurated, so before before the Janmashtami time. So Prabhupada was getting so many invitations from so many temples all over the world. So that time also Prabhupada called this Mahamsa Swami and said, do you think the temple will open? So he said, I don't think, we have only 2-3 months time, 3-4 months time. I don't think we can open. It will need at least 10-11 months, 1 year at least, to make it appear like temple and make some proper arrangements. Prabhupada said, no, nothing doing. We have to open in Janmashtami, and I am going to come and make my quarters also ready. So literally it is impossible task, because it's not some small house to make. It's huge temple, right, with Prabhupada quarters also. So, but actually devotees did it. So we hear about devotees that how they used to Anandamai Prabhu, and devotees would go to various people and collect life membership. And also the famous our Yashodanandan Swami and Achyutananda Swami. They were traveling entire South India to collect funds. We may just travel in Hyderabad. They were traveling entire South India, Madras, Guntur. So this famous incident in Guntur, when Achyutananda Swami was speaking, so he was so bold and so amazing speaker. He's Westerner. He doesn't know Telugu also, right? So it is all the more tough to connect to people and collect funds. But he was such a Anandamai Prabhu used to glorify him like anything. He used to say he was one of the most powerful speaker in Iskcon, Achyutananda Swami. Even when 73 and all this temple opened, he used to give such amazing speeches that whole temple hall was kind of filled when he used to speak. So he inspired the Guntur people who were just coming for maybe first time to class. Generally we may inspire congregation after so many years. First time they came for class and they were so much inspired, they gave all their gold earrings, all their necklaces, everything to this Achyutananda Swami. So when he brought so much gold in some big bag and gave it to Prabhupada, and he showed so much gold ornaments, Prabhupada was shocked. He said, I gave so much lectures, so many classes from so many years. I could not collect even little gold. And my disciple now is collecting so much gold. He was mesmerized and he praised Achyutananda Swami. So much he glorified him. That because he collects so much gold, not rolled gold also, original gold. Amazing, no? Right? So devotees were so much inspired, dedicated, surrendered to Prabhupada, that they were doing something literally impossible, because they had such faith and they were surrendered to the instructions of Prabhupada. Correct? So we see that actually because of their surrender, so this temple actually opened on time, that time, in 76 August 18. So it was literally actually impossible. Correct, no? And so we also hear that after the temple opened, Prabhupada told Mahamsa Swami and others that only 50% of this temple's mission is completed. Still 50% is remaining. They thought, what is it? 50% only? We did whole temple also. So he said, all these books had to be translated into Telugu and they have to be printed and distributed. So we know that His Grace Anandamai Prabhu actually took up the task. So we know that he is from France. So literally that language is quite different, right? So completely different from Telugu, correct? So, but he took up the task. It's also in one sense impossible only. A person who doesn't know language, he has to get it translated, edited, printed, distributed, correct, in a foreign land. So it's completely, no, somebody will say, what is this? Correct, no? At least if you say to translate books in my language, I can think of, correct? It is also challenging, correct? But His Grace Anandamai Prabhu accepted that instruction as his life and soul. And we see that in the past 50 years, we hear from Anandamai Prabhu only that more than 55 lakh books were printed. All the Telugu books, all Prabhupada books were translated and printed. And more than, I think, 13 lakhs Bhagavad Gita were printed and distributed by His Grace Anandamai Prabhu. So it is in one sense literally impossible, correct, no? But because of his dedication, we can see that so many things, all these Prabhupada disciples are really amazing. So following in their footsteps, actually, we should also get inspired that these devotees did so much sacrifice to actually establish this temple here, and following in their footsteps, we may not be so much surrendered, dedicated, but at least we can pray that we can also drop of such dedication, sincerity to follow the instructions of Prabhupada and his disciples. So we see that under the direction of STMC, especially our His Grace Hare Krishna Prabhu, in this Golden Jubilee celebrations also, some tasks were given which were literally kind of impossible. But we are seeing that so many wonderful things are unfolding. So devotees are also sincerely putting efforts. So we can see that coffee table book, really so much hard work is involved. Our Keshanimai Prabhu sometimes 2 o'clock in the night is awake until 2 to edit, to make sure that it comes proper. So it came out very wonderfully. And our devotees like His Grace Venugopal Krishna Prabhu, Smita Yetan Prabhu, our Pandurangshan Prabhu, Achyut Gopal Prabhu. Actually, they are meeting all big shots who are in one sense literally, it's like impossible or difficult. We were not knowing them only, or nor they were knowing us. Most it was like shocking sometimes. Iskcon habits, okay, is it there or where is it? That was kind of that situation is there actually. So, but these devotees went and now they introduced our temple, and many of them are willing to help and willing to come for this Golden Jubilee celebration. That is also really challenging to meet all these people. So like that, many devotees are putting so much efforts in so many things. Our Hare Krishna also instructed about Shrestha contest, about Prabhupada. So we were also thinking that whether people will register or what will happen. But around, I think around 22,000 people registered, and lot of people also wrote the exam. Around 5,000 people wrote the exam. So we can see that whatever extent devotees sincerely try to follow the instructions of Guru Krishna, Krishna actually empowers them. So now ahead we have very challenging tasks like our Mahaprabhu Chaitanya Prabhu, Annath Prabhu. They have to cook for so many. So it's very challenging. In a small temple, cooking for thousands and lakhs of people, to think, and to manage our His Grace Vishnu Prasad Prabhu and all the managers, to manage all this is really challenging. So as Prabhupada says, we have to, what proposition? Task? No, what you call brain? That is also there. He would tax your brain. Task your. So they were actually literally thinking how to manage this whole thing. It's really challenging because we have good place, but still to manage so many guests, so many general people, everything here and in our exhibition grounds. So much planning, so much thinking is happening. Definitely, it's really challenging. But these devotees are so much dedicated, sincere, and under the direction of all his teams is led by His Grace Vardha Krishna. So because they are guiding us, we are able to do little bit. So, but we should always remember those glorious days when there were no facilities, no money, no much prasadam, but these devotees actually did so much amazing. So before them, our means we are also trying, but ours is actually like small children try to follow the footsteps of parents, something like that. So we can pray to them and get inspired that may we also try to follow in their footsteps and do some sincere service in the mission of Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Samveta Gaura Bhakta Vrinda ki jai. Hare Krishna.